Last October was not the last time the then Danish prince traveled to Spain. Now it became known that he had returned to the capital. Genevieve Casanova has returned to Madrid. After months of not hearing much from her, the Mexican woman returned to her social networks with a powerful message. A cycle that coincides in time as well as in space with the cycle of Frederick of Denmark. The king of the Scandinavian country has an affection for Spain, and although the reasons for these trips are unknown, he was unable to prevent them from leaking out. In particular, the latest one, which came just days before it was confirmed that Genevieve had signed a contract with Elle Challenge, a long-awaited contract that would see her return to television. Even though these trips were not on Frederick of Denmark's royal agenda, the monarch sought an opportunity to return to Spain. He has been traveling quite a lot lately, and 3 different sources confirm hello when Queen Margaret's son visited our country. The Circle of the Sovereign shows that only 3 weeks ago he allowed himself to see Madrid, which means that in February he returned to Madrid again. An exit that was not out of line at the time and which now raises questions. A few months after the scandal with Genevieve, the Danish king returned to the city, which became a real tsunami in his life. Let us recall that Federico of Denmark and Casanova were caught during a walk at the end of October, although the photographs were released only in November. An unknown friendship that sparked theories, and after which they both went their separate ways. He became king and showed himself related to Mary of Denmark, and she hid in the Basque country. While one took her mother as best man, the other took refuge. The decisions of both increased the hype around a story full of unknowns. Among other things, when the signing of Genevieve Casanova's contract with Antena 3 was planned, as well as all the intricacies of the television contract, which will no doubt cause a stir among the viewers of the competition. From this Wednesday, you can find out in Weka magazine all the details and clues to his return, an exclusive that had a lot to talk about. An issue that can be found on newsstands, and that answers many of the questions that have been floating around about her. It should be noted that Genevieve's reaction was not the only reaction that shocked the audience. Also from the Danish royal house, from where they shared a wedding photo in which they are shown smiling and, above all, very accommodating. Especially Mary, who seemed to be getting the most out of her visit to Roskilde Cathedral on Tuesday, March 5. A very special royal tale. It was like traveling back in time. Read the lyrics accompanying the album. No mention, apparently, of Genevieve Casanova, about whom they had remained absolutely silent since the connection became known. Last month it became known how often Federico of Denmark traveled to Spain. About a year ago she fled to Spain, although at that time there was no trace left of the Mexican socialite. At least she couldn't be seen. In March 2023, he traveled with several friends, with whom he stayed in one of the most exclusive hotels in the capital. He chose a 5-star place located right on the Golden Mile to stay with his gang, but did Genevieve know about this express trip? Journalist Antonio Montero put it on television. There was a very successful international entrepreneur on this trip. He chose not to give an explanation, despite the commotion.